So this is our PSA script.
Driving laws in Europe are a lot different than driving laws in America. In certain parts of Europe, you have to pay a fee to get into certain cities, which is similar to paying a highway toll in some states around the U.S. In Europe, when you step out of your car, you are required to wear a safety vest. If you wear contacts or glasses, you are responsible to have an extra pair on hand in the car at all times also. In America, law enforcement does not care if you have an extra pair with you, but they do care about the quality of your eyesight, so you can see through all driving conditions. Speeding in Europe is something Europeans don't think twice about because they actually follow the rules. In America, we're accustomed to multitasking, and when we speed, we try to manage to do other things, such as texting and calling or eating. Some people even think it's okay to read and drive.
We decided to calculate the average speed down 85th Avenue. We found that people drive about 35, 41, 44, 45, 47, 49, 55, and 63 miles per hour. The average speed is about 47 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. People speed overall in a certain area, but by not that much of an average. On a trip from Brooklyn Park to Maple Grove going about 65 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone, it's about 7.1 miles and it takes about 6.6 minutes. If you were going the speed limit, which is 50 miles per hour, it would take you 8.6 minutes. You would only take 2 minutes off your trip by driving 50 miles per hour over. If you drive from Brooklyn Park to Cottage Grove going 75 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone, it's about 34.5 miles and it takes about 27.6 minutes. By going 60 miles per hour, it would take 34.5 minutes. That takes about 7 minutes off your trip of increased speed by 45 miles per hour. If you drive from Brooklyn Park to Victorville, California, going 75 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone, it's 2,117.69 miles. It would take 28 hours. If you went to speed limit 70 miles per hour, it would take 30 hours.
The economic effects. Speeding affects more than just crashes. It also has an effect on extra pollution, noise, inconvenience, not enough reaction time, tailgating, fuel inefficiency, and road rage. On average, a new vehicle in 2003 consumed more gas than it would in 1988 due to the increase in the vehicle size. In the U.S., cars averaged 25.9 miles per gallon in 1987, and 11 years later, in 1988, it dropped to 24.6 miles per gallon, and it will continue to drop as vehicles in the United States keep increasing in size. Cars use gasoline and oil. To get oil, you have to create a deep-sea oil rig and drill for oil. In 2010, BP's oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico, killing animals and destroying their natural habitat. BP was at fault, but everybody who drives uses petroleum, so they would be equally accused. If they didn't need to drive, they wouldn't need to drill for oil and risk the environment. Driving cars is the most air-polluting thing you could ever do to cause air pollution. The faster you drive, the more gas you use. If you speed all the time, you'll constantly be getting gas throughout the week, resulting in you spending more money on expensive gas. Since you're always speeding to get everywhere, whether it's because you don't like driving the speed limit or you're late to work or an appointment, it doesn't really help you in the long run. If you're going a short distance of about 10 to 20 miles, you'll probably cut off about 2 to 4 minutes of your trip, even if you're going 10 to 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. It's not logical to set yourself up for a car accident or to get caught speeding. There are many consequences for speeding. You can get a speeding ticket that is usually $180 or more, a revoked license, go to court, attend traffic school, and your insurance rates can also increase. You may even be arrested if you get caught speeding because sometimes it's considered reckless driving. Drugs and alcohol will also determine the cause and effects of speeding.
After receiving a speeding ticket, your insurance rates may not increase if it's your first one, but that depends on the state and the amount at which you exceeded the speed limit. The minimum amount of money that you would spend on a ticket would be $125, and that is just going about 10 miles over the speed limit. The average amount of money spent on a ticket would be about $200 with the person going 20 miles over the limits, and the most you can spend on a ticket would be $385 with the person going 31 miles per hour or more over the speed limit. The West and East Coast are paying anywhere between $3.35 to $3.43 per gallon of gas. The Midwest states are paying about $3.06 to $3.28 per gallon of gas. The southern part of the U.S. is paying about $2.83 to $2.98 per gallon of gas.
In conclusion, speeding Just a little bit is not worth a $135 or more ticket because you can harm yourself or another person or even get the ticket. Even though they give you a limit on your driving speed, you shouldn't exceed over it because it's not worth the while. The more you speed, the more money you spend because you are using more gas. So to be on the safer side, drive the correct speed limit so that you can save money and a life.